everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Unscripted and Unchoreographed. I'm your host, Niv, the actor, and we have Sarah, my co-host, the dancer, and today we are very excited to have a choreographer, dancer, performer, Vithoria Escobar. We are so excited to have you.
I'm so happy to be here. I can't wait. Thanks so much for having me. I'm really excited.
I'm probably going to fangirl the whole way through this, Victoria. I'm a very big fan. But I suppose to start off, if you could take us back to when you were little, your upbringing of the arts, was it in your family? Was it something that was always there? Did you do it in school?
One of my family's favorite memories of me as a child was that I was absolutely addicted to dance like Macarena. So I had videos of me in diapers dancing Macarena, and it's so cute because I actually saw these videos this last time I went to Brazil. I think it was definitely in me, and it was definitely in my upbringing as well. So my dad is the music side, but I was always very dance oriented. I remember when I was growing up in school, I used to take part in like musicals and dance and perform. Then I became a teenager. When you become a teenager, you become very like self-conscious and stuff. So I kind of lost this a little bit for a few years. This my connection to creativity. Like I was also in a school that was very focused on prepping you to college. Because in Brazil you have this like big tests called vestibular that you basically have to know everything about everything, and you do this test, and then you pass colleges and stuff. I was in a prepping school. I was not really thinking about creative. To be honest, art and dance just came back to my life in Ireland. In 2016, I moved to Ireland by myself, and then in 2018, a friend of mine said to me like, "Oh, I have a friend starting a dance class." So Lucille started her first dance class, and then I joined her class without any intention really of anything. And then I started, and then I never stopped. And then just things happened. I became a professional dancer, like here, like naturally. Like it was not something that it was my plan. I was just dancing, and I was just happy to be in class, and I was just doing as much classes as I could and training as much as I could because it was just making me happy. I had a job in 2019. Then I went to Brazil to wait for my work visa. And I came back 3 months after they fired me because of COVID. So I lost my visa, I lost my house, I lost my work, I lost everything. There was like this limbo that people are not like illegal here because of COVID. But I stayed on a big limbo for like a year, not knowing what was going to happen because I could not leave. And then if I leave, I don't know if I was able to come back. I also could not find work because I didn't have a permit with me. And then when you try to find jobs, you have to have this permit. It was very difficult for me at that time because I actually lost all the structure that I had for myself. But the only thing that I could do was dance. That was the only escape that I had. I started dancing a lot because it was literally the only thing that I could do. So that was a big turning point for me, like connecting to dance in a different level. Because before, I think I was dancing, but I was still thinking like, oh, I'm gonna be an office girl. And then after that happens, I was like, no, like I can't. So that was a big turning point with my relationship with dance. To be honest, like I don't know what I would do or what I would be doing till now in Ireland if I didn't find dance. It was really crazy because everything that you think that you have for yourself, it was literally destroyed. But it was good because I think today I kind of feel grateful for how it happened. Like obviously it was really hard, but I think it helped me to go to a direction, putting my energy in something that I really like and that it really gives me purpose and I'm really passionate about. I think the worst thing was the uncertainty of it because like immigration was updating every 2 months. So every 2 months, I didn't know what was gonna happen. Like every 2 months, am I gonna be able to stay? Do I have to go back home? Like it was crazy in that sense. But but yeah, like I think things happens for a reason, I guess.
So when you first came to Ireland, like you had no intent of being a dancer, and even like when you were in Brazil, how is the dance scene in Brazil maybe compared to Ireland?
Well, it's bigger for sure. Before this journey of me becoming a dancer, I was already following dancers and stuff. Obviously it was something that I always enjoyed regardless. But I got closer after I became a dancer. I feel like my main references in dance are all like from Brazil. Like our culture itself in Brazil is so rich. Like every state is a country. Well, Brazil is a continental country. It's so big in territory, meaning that you have so many rhythms, so many cultures in every sense: food, language, dance, music, everything. So you have like a variety of rhythms and dance, and incredible. Dance is very part of our ancestry as a country as well. Brazilian people are naturally very connected to dance. For example, if you go to a party, right, in Brazil, and then a certain music plays, everyone is gonna do the same choreography because everyone knows. I don't know how to explain it. Like before TikTok, before all these things, like since I was like a child. So I think like it's different. This island is really small compared to Brazil. So obviously, like in Brazil, you have way more diversity in every possible way that you can think of because of its size. I guess I feel like that's kind of the one of the main aspects that I think are very different. Obviously, like it's way more competitive because there's way more people. Unfortunately, the dance industry as a whole concentrates into one city, São Paulo. So everyone that wants to become a dancer goes to São Paulo. It's like New York or London. So you would have obviously a lot of demands because everything happens there, but you also have a lot of competition. So I think like in Brazil, you have to work really, really hard to get there because you have so many people, you have so many amazing people. I think the diversity definitely was one of the strong aspects of the difference there, I'd say.
Is there dance schools? Like, if you want to be a dancer in Brazil, do you go to dance college or do you do something similar like yourself where the standard is so high that people actually don't need to?
It really depends. I think it really depends on what kind of dance, what kind of style you are focusing on. Like for example, I train in styles that the origin of its styles it's on the street. Like the origin of these styles are not in studios. Probably a dance college wouldn't provide me. Obviously, it would provide me some sort of learning, but not on the styles that let's say I learn or that I train necessarily, if you get me. So I think in Brazil is the same. Like you have a lot of rhythms, dance like capoeira, funk, samba. Like you don't teach that in school. It's not it's not a studio style. It's a street style. I think if you want to study something more classic, I'll say obviously it's more beneficial for you to do like a more formal college or go to certain spaces. But if you want to train in other street dance styles, you have to just go to the right people. I think as every style, you just have to know where your foundation is, who created that, what's the foundation behind the style, and try to go from the sources that teach that in the most authentic way possible. Let's say that.
What is your favorite style? Because you are great at so many different styles.
So I started dancing dancehall, which is a dance style originated in Jamaica. And just for reference, which is easier for people that don't know what dancehall is, it's basically an evolution from reggae culture. Actually, my first style ever, because I used to do like ballet classes when I was a kid, capoeira as well. That's what I actually started. But as an adult, there's the Afro came in very quickly after that because Lapri was one of the was doing Afro classes in Dublin. So I was in, as I was saying, like my journey as an adult in dance started in Dublin really. So I started with dancehall with Lucille, and then Afro with Lapri. So that's why an Afro was like is really, that's kind of the styles that I trained the most for longer. And obviously I did classes in other styles. So now I'm studying crump lately, which I really enjoy. I try to train Brazilian funk always that I can. Brazilian funk is my favorite style, guys. Brazilian funk is my favorite style. Like I don't train as much because obviously like here is hard. I have a friend who is like amazing in Brazilian funk, like Passinho. He's actually incredible. I love learning from him, and he's an amazing person, incredible dancer. And it's my favorite style because I absolutely love the music. It's part of who I am as a person. So I'd say it's my favorite style of all, just because it's home, and I'd say that that's my favorite style. Even though it's the style that I don't train as much, like in classes and studios. But again, it's a type of style that you don't learn in studios. Like let's say that these four styles, I think, really shape who I became as a dancer today. I came here to study English for 8 months. I just finished college. I just turned 21. And my mom, she always encouraged me to study abroad because like she didn't have the opportunity and she thought it was very important. Back then I just got like a promotion in work. I was happy in Brazil, to be honest, guys. Like I did not run away from anything. I had a job and I was okay. But my mom was like, if you don't go now, like it will be so much harder for you to actually go again because you're gonna be more established. So I was like, okay, 9 years later. So then I moved here to English for 8 months. One of the reasons why I chose Ireland because it was one of the few countries that allowed Brazilian passport holders to work while they study. I had a few options, and then from the options, I thought Ireland was the best because I didn't know Europe as well. I wanted to travel as well and take the opportunity. You don't get stable in a month, in 2 months. I just got like a little bit stable after like 4 months, almost five. More stable job, and then it's like, okay, I'm living in 4 months. I didn't travel, I didn't do anything because you spend the 4 months just trying to sort yourself out, like finding a job, like doing normal stuff, like leaving, opening a bank account, getting your visa or something. So I think after 4 months, I was like, I definitely cannot leave in 4 months because there's so much that I still need to do travel wise, especially. So that's why that's how I came here. That's how I kind of ended up like staying. Now thinking back, then if I had the intention to just stay here for 8 months only, I would just plan in advance and maybe have money to have to be here for 8 months, and then don't worry because if I wanted to stay here short term, or if someone wants to stay here short term, because it takes a while for you to establish yourself and find a good job. And in the beginning you don't know anything really, so you're still trying to find out how the country works and how everything works, and you don't know anybody, so you're still kind of like meeting people, and you're trying to find a house, and you're trying to get your PPS number. So yeah, it takes a bit of time.
And what did you study in Brazil, Victoria, before coming here?
So I studied in Brazil. I studied here as well. So I studied in Brazil. I'm graduated in public relations, social communications, public relations, and then here I ended up doing 2 master's degree. So the first master's was in journalism and public relations, and then the second one was in digital marketing. And the second one, it was not planned. Even the first one was not planned, but the second one was because the whole visa situation that I had, it was one of the few ways that I had to renew my visa. So I saved money during COVID, and then I studied again to be able to stay. So I ended up like doing another course. So I studied here twice, and I was graduated like bachelor's in Brazil already. When I was looking to do courses in my second master's, I actually looked into dance, but I feel like I didn't really connect. I think some courses that I saw as a Brazilian, I couldn't do it. There's some things like that, like when you're not EU passport holder, is a bit different. What you do depends on how the immigration is gonna see that, all this kind of stuff. So I remember that some of that I could not do it or something, but I also did not really connect because my dance background is not from a studio. I questioned that as well, but I think like obviously it helped. Like I still work in marketing. I am still not a full-time dancer. I will to be, but I still obviously have to have my marketing job to give me like financial stability, and I know that is the reality of many artists. To be honest, I feel like it's important for you to have a skill set that complements your creativity, because I feel like, for example, learning business management, learning marketing, learning this kind of stuff will always be complementary to whatever you do. Like if you want to become an artist, if you want to anything. And obviously, like, what if you have an injury someday and you cannot dance? What are you gonna do? So I feel like it's important for you to have other skills also. I think for your own sake as well. I definitely do not regret doing any of that. Like I feel like it was important for me, and still is important for me today.
You're a freelancer and you do need a little side gig, whether it's marketing, childcare, waitressing. You do need something because you're not going to have work unless you're absolutely mad famous and have loads of money.
Yeah, I think like when I tried to be a full-time dancer, I think 2 years ago for a few months, and I was not happy. I think like today will be different. I think like it's something that I will do maybe soon, hopefully. But I feel like back then I did not feel happy because I was teaching classes, and then when people did not come for some reason, I was already concerned with the income that I was gonna have. So I was really looking at dance from this perspective, with that heaviness of salary and income and all this kind of stuff, which is a job. Like, a lot of people also don't realize, people that are not from the creative industry, like, it is a job like any other. You have boring stuff, you have things that you do that you don't like. It is a job like any other. But I feel like back then, when I did it for a few months, I feel like it was changing a bit how I was seeing dance, how I was seeing my students, how I was teaching, because it was coming with this concern of, I'm not gonna be able to pay my rent and all this kind of stuff. This is not easy as well, and I feel like that's definitely one of the most challenging things of being a creative, especially like a freelance, is the lack of financial stability. You have all this heaviness of like not having money, and that can affect your creativity, your spark. I'm still working my 9 to 5. I also don't like to work my 9 to 5, so we are never happy. But it's something that I think we manage. I think it's important. I think for me particularly, I want to be a person that I want to have like different streams of income. I think relying to just one thing is also not good as well. But that's what I have for me. Obviously, every person is different. Having a side job gave me the possibility to invest in my dance. That's the other thing as well that I felt when I was being a full-time dancer. Because, okay, I could pay my bills, but was I be able to travel to dance? Was I be able to pay for my workshops? Was I able to pay for private classes? Like, I could not do that. With this job that I have now, like, I'm able to invest in my dance. So this is something that is good for you to have like other incomes, because then you can invest in yourself, in your dance as well.
That's such a good point. There's a danger sometimes, because when you're an artist, you don't know when your next job or money is coming. There is that, I need a job, and it takes something away from the passion. I think when you just see yourself as one thing, it's dangerous territory. Like, I love working with kids, and sometimes it's nice to talk to a colleague who knows absolutely nothing about the arts or has no interest, and I'm just talking to them about how's their kid. It's really nice.
You need money because obviously the world we live in, things are expensive. Sometimes you end up like accepting jobs that you don't really like or don't really connect. It takes away your freedom at some stages, but it also gives you freedom in certain aspects as well. I feel like now that I am maturing, understanding who I am as a person, understanding who I am as an artist, understanding what I like to do as well, I feel like I would have more clarity to, okay, this is how I like to work with dance. Like, this is what I like to do. If I see myself doing the same thing over and over again, I don't like it. I like to do different stuff. So, for example, I love teaching. I absolutely love teaching. But if I teach Monday to Friday, in a few months, I'm going to be like, I don't want to teach anymore, because I'm not going to be challenged anymore. I'm not going to be simulated. So I need to have other stuff going on to push me. So I need to also perform. I need to also create. I cannot do always the same thing. So this is something that I'm also understanding on myself. But it's important. I feel like it's important for us to have a plan B regardless. If something happens, what are you going to do? Like, you also have to be realistic in that sense as well.
That's actually such a good point. Especially a dancer, if you get injured. I had actually never really thought about that, but do you do any competitions, dance competitions or dance battles?
Yes, for the first time, like as a group. I started battling 2023. So it's funny, my relationship with battling, because when I started dancing, I was like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna battle. I don't feel like that's for me. I was in a dance workshop weekend in Amsterdam, and there was like a battles, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I absolutely did not do well, because I never really trained for anything, but it pushed me to to train. So they invited me later in 2023 to be part of Red Bull Dance Your Style, the first edition in Ireland. Then I qualified last year as well, so I participated last year. I ended up like joining other battles. I have a bit of a love relationship with battle, I'm not gonna lie. It's hard. I'm an anxious person. It challenges me like mentally. You have to think at the same time, you cannot think too much. You have to feel it mostly, because if you don't feel it, you will show in your dance. So it's very crazy. Dancers have different backgrounds. Some dancers, they come up like in a more freestyle space. I definitely didn't. Like, the style that I started, dancehall, is a very step based style. Hip hop is a bit more like that. Freestyle is very strong, but it was really good. I feel like battle helped me develop a lot of things. Battle is so complex because like one of the most crazy thing about dancing, right, and about the art, you prep, you train, and then it just passed. Like you prep, you train, you put all the work, blah 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 blah, and then you do your 45 seconds round, and that's it. And that's it. It can be good, it can be bad. The ones that I feel like I did better was the ones that I did not think too much. I was just doing for the fun of it. I'm a very perfectionist person, and I challenge and I push myself like I don't think I ever do good enough, like that kind of mindset, toxic mindset. When I'm able to turn off this when I think that I do best in battles. But I'm still on the journey of battling. I'm still kind of learning for sure.
Well, I have only been an audience member in dance battles. They are so intense. I don't know how you do it. I went to my friends recently in London and it was hip hop against contemporary, and my God, it was amazing. I loved being in the audience, and the MC DJ was incredible, but I was so nervous for them.
It's so intense because if you're my opponent, let's say that, but I think that you're doing great, I'm gonna smile and hype you. And people can be mean, like in the battle, you cannot be really like intimidated by this kind of stuff because it's part as well. I think it's part of every person's individual kind of approach to it. Obviously, the nerves that you get, but it's good. I definitely love to have to be an audience member. I like to participate as well, but sometimes I get super nervous. That's the thing about battle. You never agree with everything. Sometimes I do a round and I'm not happy with my round. Or you're happy with your round. But then once the battle is over, it's over. I think you also have to train your mindset that like it's okay, you're always gonna have the next one. Art is so like you have that present and then the present it's over and then you have like the next thing.
So you do the first round and then obviously you move up. But if you do kind of not so great in the second round, can the judges be like, okay, but they did really well in the first round? Is that a thing or no?
I think it depends on every battle settling and every battle judge. So that's the thing as well about battle. It's different. Like everyone judges different. Sometimes the structure is different. Sometimes you can have the classic, like everyone has 1 minute. And if they need, they do a second round, 1 minute, 1 minute. Or sometimes you have like 7 to smoke. So you have one person and then the person who wins stays. And then the other person's like keeps changing. If you keep winning, you stay. The battle can have different dynamics. So it really depends on the event, on the judges. People don't agree with, it's not everyone that agrees with everything. Someone's always going to disagree with what the judges choose. I don't think that I ever saw a battle that everyone thought that everything was completely fair. You always going to disagree with something. I also took a step back from battling for a few months because I feel like I can always do better. Obviously, this is not a good mindset to have, but I do have this mindset of really pushing myself and being perfectionist, and I cannot point to what I did well. It's easier for me to point what I can do better. The thing about battle that is so important for you to have like a very strong mindset, because a round does not define your dance. A round does not make you a better or worse dancer. What someone else judges you does not define you. So I think that's also why I took a step back and I'm trying to come in again with a different mindset, because sometimes I used to like, oh my God, I did bad in a battle, or I did bad in a round, or I didn't pass in a round, or I lost a round. I'll be like, bro, like I'm so shit. Like I would put myself down so much. And this is not good. That's not constructive. You still have to believe in yourself and not to let like other people all around or a judge like define who you are or define your growth or define like everything that you built to this moment. It was just around. You can do another strong round another time. That's a very important mindset to have, because it can affect you if you're not really strong like within like yourself and your dance. It can really affect you, because like you go there, you do a round with sometimes judges that you admire and they're like, no, you can feel like shit. But again, like you have to really learn that that does not define who you are. You can always improve. There's always another battle, there's always another round. I needed to learn because I was putting myself on that place. I'm an emotional person. I cried and all this kind of stuff. But you have to take it to something that doesn't put you down.
And it happens so often. It's especially with dancers, actors, like you're your inner critic, and self-sabotage. And I think it's when it's yourself, sometimes it's so hard to be constructive criticism. And that kind of mindset seems golden. My God, I would love to be like that.
It's still in development. It doesn't change from one day to the other. We do therapy every week for a reason. I just feel like it's very important for us and as artists not to take ourselves so seriously as well. Like that's something that I'm learning. I want to battle or I want to dance because I feel good doing it. I feel happy doing it. When you feel happy doing your dance, it shows, and that's how people look at you because it's the genuine joy that is coming out of you. It's the genuine emotion. If you're just there to impress somebody, the feeling of why you do art, it's lost. I'm telling you this because obviously I know in theory, but in practice with emotions is really hard. That's something that we cannot forget as creatives. I feel like it's part of the journey to lose at times, actually. But we cannot really forget to lose. We like doing that.
No, you're completely right. I completely agree. Relating to that, if you had advice for your younger self, Victoria, what would you say? Maybe it's something similar to what you literally just said, because honestly, that's really good advice.
If I would give myself a younger advice, start dancing earlier. Always put your energy in what makes you happy. If dancing makes you happy, if theater makes you happy, if this makes you happy, put your energy in it, just invest in it because eventually something's gonna come out of it. Always make sure that you have your people, your community that supports you. That's very important in any creative space. Community is literally everything, I think. Right now, I am not teaching. I want to do workshops. I want to teach in different cities in Ireland. For this year, I want to decentralize from Dublin a bit and try to go to different places like I did in Cork the end of last year. And it was so amazing. So I really want to try to go for other places. So people can definitely look me on my Instagram. I post everything there. I don't have any classes coming up for now because I started a different journey. My routine is changing a lot. I started in a new dance company.
What is your Instagram?
It's V Escobar. V-I Escobar, the famous surname. I joined a dance school, a dance company, kind of dance school. It's called Zen Arts. They focus a lot of like stage performance. They work a lot with like artists and festivals, all this kind of stuff. And I started training there, and I'm having this crazy routine of going to London every week to train. I really want to try to go to different places, different spaces, different people, learn something new. Obviously, it's a bit crazy. Like everyone that I end up like mentioning it is like, are you crazy? Like, are you insane? But like, I feel like it's the sacrifices that we need to make. It's been really great. It's really pushing me out of my comfort zone and really, really pushing me, which is something that I needed, that I wanted. So I don't know what that's gonna lead me, but this is a commitment that I have for the year. That's why I'm not like committing to teach any regular classes because I'm also getting that routine. I have still my 9 to 5 job and a lot of things happening. So I'm giving that my priority because sometimes you teach, you give so much, and I feel I needed at some point to give to myself as well. And I feel like I'm on a moment that I'm doing things to develop myself, so I'm able to give again in a new way, in a new mindset with new stuff. Like I have a few things coming up, but a big thing is that we are continuing Wave, the dance show that we started in 2022. We're doing the edition as well in December, so we're probably gonna start working on that soon. I always love to do Wave. Is like my little baby.
If someone hasn't seen Wave, I have. It's incredible. And you meet really nice people. I feel like everyone who goes to it is just lovely.
We wanted to create a space for dancers, by dancers to dancers. And I think everyone that goes there, even if you're not like a dancer yourself, and it's a different feeling because everyone there is excited. Everyone there is like giving energy. Can I say something that I think that we need as dancers rather than like comparing to another country? Because I wouldn't have this knowledge. But I feel like something that as dancers we really need space. Like studio is so expensive. Now it's up to like 50 euros an hour for a studio. It's really, really expensive. How are you gonna train? How are you gonna teach classes? For you to make a profit, like a decent profit to survive in Ireland, because it's expensive to live here. The rent is expensive, food is getting expensive. Our expenses as dance professionals are high. rent a studio, 50 euros, 45 at least the hour. It's hard for you to make even 100 profit per class. So we really need more like public funding spaces that dancers, professional dancers can use and can afford. Obviously, we have Dance Ireland, but there's just Dance Ireland. I know that the government put some limit funding for like a basic income scheme for artists. I definitely feel it should be expanded if you want to push people to actually pursue arts full time. Just a basis, just so we are able to pay rent and pay the basic stuff. Because the truth, as much as you get funding, most of the funding goes to actually paying people and paying stuff. You don't get like a 10K funding and the 10K funding goes to you. Like maybe then you have 2K for you. But 2K, you can barely stay in a month in Ireland in this economy for with 2K. So I feel like these also things that has to be thought about. The sustainability of it and the consistency. I feel it's something to be looked after for artists. I have financial stability because of my other job, not because of dance. Also, with my 9 to 5 job, I'm able to pay for my studio. I think that's definitely some things that we would benefit a lot as a community.
I think you're bang on the money there. Thank you so much, Victoria. It was such a pleasure talking to you. We're so lucky to have you as an artist.